Hey everybody, welcome inside the sit down here on CBS Local. Ryan Mayer now joined by two members of Sky Blue FC, Elizabeth Eddy, along with Kailen Sheridan. Guys, how are you? How's Utah treating you?
Going good.
It's hot.
Good,
Kind of
good.
crazy.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Now, you're coming into a semifinal match here off of a dramatic victory in the quarterfinal round, and I want to start first with you, Kailen. You have both 7 saves during the course of that match and then the save in the shootout in order to send your team through. Just what's been the key to your performance, not only in that match, but also throughout this tournament? You're the leader in saves. Just what's it been like for you just being in that zone here over the course of these 5 games?
Yeah, I think it's a different experience coming in and playing in this bubble in this tournament. But I think the biggest thing for me is the step up that my defense has made from last year and the years before. I think their performances in the past games have been incredible and really something to be proud of. And I'm really happy that they're in front of me and helping me out and making my job a little bit easier. And I'm just really proud of everything that they put in, the hard work, not only in this tournament and leading into this tournament, but I know how hard they work in the quarantine and on their own. So I think it's a testament to them as defenders and as a team in general, what we can accomplish when we really put our minds to it.
And Liz, for you, what's been like watching Kailen's performances here in this tournament? And then on the other side of things, you're the one that scored the clinching goal in that penalty kick shootout as well.
Honestly, I would say Kailen has always been phenomenal. Like, I joined the team halfway through last year, and she's literally, I would say MVP, and I would probably vote for MVP always every time we play against any team, and whether we win or not, like, she makes game-saving like saves all the time. And so honestly, like, there's so much confidence as a player knowing, like, even if we do make mistakes, like, she's gonna have our back every single time. And if she doesn't, it's like we all learn together, and literally, like, she gets like a lot more reps. She gets a lot more reps, I would say. But like, we're like really growing as a team, and like just her ability to like shot stop at the same time distribute is like insane. One of the best I'd say in the world. And then getting the chance to like be the 5th PK taker was such a privilege, and I'm very honored and thankful that I got the opportunity to be on this team and help do that.
Yeah, you mentioned that 5th PK taker spot. That's a pressure-packed situation. Just take me through what's going through your mind in that scenario, an opportunity to put your team through into the semifinal round.
Honestly, like, for me, it's like, I feel like in all of life, it's about opportunities. And if you get the opportunity to be in that type of a position where you have a lot of pressure and like the what you do in that moment helps a lot or can hurt a lot, like, I think that's just something that most competitors, most athletes would take, because it's a great opportunity to grow as a person, whether or not you make it or not. It's just another chance to grow. And for me, I'm like really glad I was able to make it and help the team go through. And again, Kailen save.
For sure. And on deck next for you guys coming up here is a matchup with Chicago Red Stars tomorrow night, Wednesday. And I'm curious, from your perspective, having seen how the action has played out here over the course of the tournament, what you're expecting from this Red Stars team. You didn't get the opportunity to play them during the course of the preliminary round.
I think we're excited more than anything because we didn't play them, to play a new team and to really put ourselves in a really great opportunity to show our style and play our way and perform at the highest level we know we can. And I think coming in against Chicago, we know they're a strong team. We know Chicago has a lot of amazing players. And I think for us, our biggest thing going into this game is making sure that we play our style and not go on to their level. I think they have their style that's very strong for them, but we have ours that's worked for us. And we need to make sure that we impose our threats and our style onto them.
And you speak about imposing that style, and Liz, I'll come to you for this one. The style has been working throughout the course of this tournament, obviously, to get you to this point, but it's been tough to find those opportunities in front of net. You've only been able to put 2 away so far, and you're shaking your head, so I know you've gotten this question so many times, but just what is the key in finding more of those finishing opportunities here?
Honestly, like, it's all about being together as a team and doing the principles we know. And I'd say a lot of it starts with having a new style coming in this year as a team with the new coaching staff. Learning that in a really quick time sounds very difficult, but we just need to keep sticking to the principles, do it together, have each other's backs. And like, with that, like, the goals will come, and just trusting the process. And I think that's a big thing as athletes. It's like, so often you want to get to this goal or get to this goal. And it's like, at the end of the day, like, what can I do today to get 1 degree better? And I think that's what our team's choosing to do. And although it's hard, because sometimes as a forward, you're like, you got to score. If you're not scoring, you're not doing a good job. And it's like, take a deep breath. Like, what's the team need right now? They need you to press. They need you to hold. They need you to make those runs. Like, it's coming. Just trust the process.
And for both of you now, this is a Sky Blue franchise that here over the course of the last couple of years has been struggling to find that level of success. Now you find yourselves here in the semifinals, an opportunity now 2 wins away from hoisting a trophy. Just what does that mean to you to be in this position with everything that has gone on here with this franchise?
Yeah, I think it's an amazing feeling, knowing where we've been and where we've come from. I think it's kind of been building. Although we haven't been able to see that progression in standings or in points, we can feel it on this team, and we've been building towards this. And I think this is one of the next steps in our journey. It's not by far the last or the highest that we'll go, regardless of the finishing of this tournament. We know we're capable of so much more, and we just know that this is one of the steps going forward, and we're really proud of the work we've put in. But in order to get to the next one, we need to put some work in that we've never put in before. And so that's going to be the biggest thing for us, is making a big change and a big shift to put us on top, and on top for a consistent amount of time. I think we're really proud of what happened on Saturday, but we know that our standards are higher than what we did, and we don't want to do the same performance because it wasn't good enough for us. So we're hoping to have a better performance on Wednesday, and then we'll focus on Wednesday for now, but whatever comes after that, we'll focus on. I think what we've been able to do so far is focus on one at a time. Whatever comes next year, next month, next week, it doesn't matter until we accomplish what we need to do right now.
Liz, how about you?
I mean, I totally agree with that. It's just at the end of the day, like one thing at a time, trusting the process. And I think a really cool thing about our team is that in that sense of trust process, it's about like learning, and like all of us are growing and developing, and some players have a lot of opportunity, some people have less, but the biggest thing is embracing your role and doing what it takes for the team to win. And that's everybody each day being like, I might not be super happy, but I'm going to choose to do what's best for the team, which is like bring good vibes, or I need to score goals, I need to make extra runs, I need to defend well. And I think that's the biggest thing about this team that's also special, is like through difficulty times in the past couple of years, which I've only been here for a portion, it's like I came on this team and I was like, wow, these people, like they've been through so much and they genuinely love each other like deeply. And like that's something really special, because in the professional environment, it's extremely competitive, and often it's like, yeah, we love you, but like not really. And like on this team, like I'd say it's different, and it's a really special thing to be a part of. And like that at the end of the day will take you really far. And like as we're seeing, like even in this tournament so far, we're getting closer and closer to our potential, and we're still like so far from it. But it's all again a learning process, and we're just thankful for this opportunity to be in this tournament, to continue getting better, and like looking forward to what is to come.
Now, on the off-field side of things, this is a different environment for you than probably any professional experience you've had during the course of either of your careers, right? So you're in this bubble scenario, which we're seeing reflected across sports. I'm curious how you are keeping yourself entertained outside of practices, outside of training. What's been the main form of entertainment for you guys?
I mean, it's like I would say, like, to be honest, for me, like I end up spending quite a bit of time like reading books or watching things, and like just trying to like, and like having stimulating conversations with my teammates or like people on FaceTime back home. And it's like at the end of the day, like you're in your house, you're not, and it's like, how can I grow as a person and like keep your mind active? Because if you don't and you only focus on one thing and then it doesn't go your way, it's like crushing. And it's kind of just a matter of like try to make life as enjoyable as possible while you're working at something that's like very difficult and to some degree a little bit confining in the environment we're in.
Kailen, for you?
Yeah, it's definitely difficult being in a bubble and not being, there's a barrier at the door you can't pass in a way. And I think for me personally, it's just been having that downtime and enjoying it, because we've actually been relatively busy, which has been nice and keeping us stimulated. But there's games in the hotels. We have ping pong and cornhole and can jam that keep us busy. But sometimes you just kind of need that downtime to yourself, which is actually it's been a good part of this bubble.
And the final question that I want to get both of your guys' opinion on, we'll start with you, Liz, being the California native. Some big news for the NWSL coming out a little bit earlier in the day today. A franchise coming to Los Angeles. Just what does it mean to you to see this league continuing to grow? We've had the previous announcement with Louisville joining as well next year. Just what does that growth mean?
I mean, I just feel like it's kind of like a huge, huge step in the right direction. And like the word that comes to mind is like promise. And it just shows that this league, women's sports, like what's going on here, like has a lot of promise for the future. And I think so much more to come. And if you look at it on percentage scale, I feel like we're 2% there and we have so much more to grow. But like this is just a huge, like solid step in like going in the right direction. And like I'm just super stoked because it's gonna just make this whole thing like a lot more professional. And that's the end days, like keep raising the level, keep raising the standard, and being as good as you, I don't say deserve to be, like treated in that way.
Kayla, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's so exciting, and I'm pumped to have another team, but I think it just opens more doors for other teams to come in as well. And we know the people behind this club are incredible human beings with an incredible goal and passion for the sport. And I think they get the right people under them who have the same goals and the same mindsets and, you know, the same beliefs and values. At the end of the day, they'll be a very strong club. And I think the biggest thing for me is that it's just going to continue to open doors for other clubs to enter this league. And we want to see this league grow. We want to see it flourish. And, you know, as a little kid, we didn't have many opportunities to watch women's soccer. And we want to change that for the little kids of tomorrow. And, you know, I hope one day we'll see a Canadian team join this league. I'm still pushing for that. But I think LA is an incredible opportunity for a lot of these players and a lot of these little kids to grow up and dream about being on that team and being on this team and competing against that team and just more doors opening for this league.
Kailen, Liz, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it. Good luck tomorrow coming up against Chicago Red Stars, and hopefully we'll talk here in the coming days, maybe after another victory for you guys here going into a final here in the NWSL Challenge Cup.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ryan.